Something extraordinary happened in the last 72 hours that nobody in the basketball world saw coming, and it involves the brightest star currently wearing purple and gold. Just when we thought we had everything figured out, just when the Lakers seemed to have found their formula for sustained excellence, developments have emerged that could shake the foundation of everything we've built this season. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, your ultimate destination for all the breaking news, insider analysis, and honest truth about our Los Angeles Lakers. This is where you get the complete story, the unfiltered perspective, and the deep dives that connect you directly to what's really happening with our franchise. And trust me when I say this, what I'm about to share with you today is something that every Lakers fan needs to hear, needs to understand, and needs to be prepared for as we navigate the most critical stretch of this season. Let me take you back to where this incredible journey began, because understanding the magnitude of what we're facing requires appreciating how we got here in the first place. When Luka Doncic arrived in Los Angeles, the entire basketball landscape shifted. This wasn't just another star joining the Lakers. This was a generational talent in his absolute prime, choosing to wear the purple and gold, bringing with him a level of skill, basketball IQ, and competitive fire that this franchise hasn't seen at the point guard position since the Magic Johnson era. The excitement was palpable, the expectations were astronomical, and the belief that championship number 18 was within reach became universal across Lakers Nation. And here's the thing that makes this story so compelling. Doncic hasn't just met those sky-high expectations. He's absolutely shattered them in ways that even the most optimistic projections couldn't have anticipated. We're watching history unfold in real time, witnessing performances that will be discussed decades from now, experiencing basketball excellence at a level that reminds us why we fell in love with this game in the first place. The 26-year-old maestro has been nothing short of sensational in his first full season with the Lakers, orchestrating an offensive symphony that has the entire league taking notice. Let's talk numbers because the statistics tell a story that's almost difficult to comprehend. Doncic is averaging 34.7 points per game. Stop and let that number sink in for a moment. Nearly 35 points every single night, with the efficiency and consistency that championship teams absolutely require from their best player. But he's not just scoring, he's facilitating at an elite level with 8 assists per game, making everyone around him better, elevating role players into key contributors, and creating offensive opportunities that simply wouldn't exist without his court vision and passing ability. And then there's the rebounding, 8.7 boards per game for a guard, showing his commitment to impacting every facet of the game, not just the glamorous aspects that fill highlight reels. The Lakers are 19-7 with Doncic leading the charge. That's not just a good record. That's a statement about where this franchise stands in the hierarchy of Western Conference contenders. We're in legitimate contention for the number 1 seed, sitting just 5. 5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, and every game matters as we position ourselves for the playoff run that will define this entire season. The defense has improved, the offensive flow is unlike anything we've seen in recent years, and the belief in the locker room is at an all-time high. This is what championship basketball looks like, when everything aligns properly. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn that has league insiders buzzing and has me genuinely concerned about what the future might hold. Thursday night's performance against the Utah Jazz was vintage Doncic, 45 points and 14 assists, another masterclass in offensive brilliance that left defenders grasping at air and reminded everyone watching why he's in the MVP conversation. And that performance cemented something historic for the Lakers' record books. Doncic now holds the record for most 45-point double-doubles by a point guard in Lakers history. Think about that for a second. More than Magic Johnson, more than Jerry West, more than any of the legendary guards who've worn this uniform. That's the kind of company we're talking about. That's the level of excellence he's reached. According to the latest MVP ladder, Doncic sits third in the race, behind only Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic. That's elite company, and it speaks to the level at which he's performing night in and night out. In a perfect world, we're looking at a scenario where Doncic leads the Lakers to their first championship since 2020, while simultaneously securing his first MVP award. The narrative would be perfect, the legacy would be cemented, and Lakers fans would be celebrating one of the greatest individual seasons in franchise history, culminating in the ultimate team's success. But success brings its own complications, and this is where we need to have an honest conversation about what's developing behind the scenes. When a player performs at this level, when he's carrying a franchise on his shoulders and delivering historic performances, the attention from around the league becomes intense. Other organizations watch these games and start thinking about what it would mean to have someone like Doncic leading their franchise. General managers start running numbers, ownership groups start dreaming about possibilities, and suddenly the player who seemed untouchable becomes the subject of speculation and discussion in boardrooms across the NBA. I've been hearing things over the past few weeks that concern me deeply as a Lakers fan who wants nothing more than to see Doncic retire in purple and gold. There are teams out there, contending franchises with cap space and assets, who are absolutely monitoring his situation. They're watching how the Lakers construct their roster around him, evaluating whether Los Angeles can provide the championship infrastructure that a player of his caliber deserves, and positioning themselves to make a play if any opportunity presents itself. This isn't idle speculation. This is the reality of modern NBA dynamics, where star players have unprecedented leverage, and franchises are constantly maneuvering to acquire difference makers. The contractual situation adds another layer of complexity that cannot be ignored. While Doncic is under contract with the Lakers, the business side of basketball always lurks in the background of these discussions. Player empowerment in today's NBA means that situations can change rapidly, that commitments can be reevaluated, and that even the most seemingly stable situations can become fluid if certain conditions aren't met. I'm not suggesting that Doncic is unhappy or looking to leave, but I am saying that the Lakers cannot take his presence for granted, cannot assume that historic performances automatically translate to long-term commitment, and cannot be complacent in their efforts to build a championship roster around him. Think about what other teams could offer him that might be appealing. There are franchises with younger cores, with more cap flexibility, with draft capital to surround him with emerging talent while he's still in his prime. There are markets that would worship him as the undisputed franchise centerpiece, without the shadows of Lakers history and expectations looming over every performance. There are organizations that might present themselves as having a longer championship window, a more sustainable path to sustained excellence than what the Lakers can offer, given their current roster construction and financial commitments. And here's the uncomfortable truth that we need to address directly. If another team came calling with a package that was too good to refuse, if they offered a haul of young talent, draft picks, and immediate contributors that could reshape the Lakers' future, would the organization have the courage to say no? Would they prioritize keeping Doncic at all costs? Or would they evaluate whether moving him while his value is at its absolute peak might provide the best long-term path forward? These are the questions that keep me up at night as someone who's invested emotionally in this franchise's success. The comparison to other star players who've changed teams in their prime is inevitable. We've seen it happen before. Situations that seemed stable suddenly unraveling, franchises that thought they had their cornerstone locked in for years, watching him walk away or force a trade. The modern NBA has shown us repeatedly that no situation is permanent, that loyalty is rare, and that organizations must constantly earn their stars' commitment rather than assuming it as a given. The Lakers have the history, the prestige, the championship pedigree, but does that guarantee anything in today's player-driven league? I wish I could say yes with absolute certainty, but the honest answer is more complicated. However, and this is crucial, I remain optimistic about where we're headed and confident that the Lakers can keep Doncic in purple and gold for the foreseeable future. Here's why my faith in this situation remains strong despite the concerns I've outlined. The Lakers have something that very few franchises can offer, which is the combination of winning tradition, global platform, and organizational commitment to excellence that makes Los Angeles the premier destination for basketball superstars. Players want to be Lakers not just because of the roster or the coach, but because of what it means to be part of this legacy. Doncic is experiencing what it's like to be the face of the most iconic franchise in basketball. The adulation from fans, the media attention, the endorsement opportunities, the chance to have his legacy forever intertwined with legends like Kobe, Magic, Kareem, and Shaq. That's not something you walk away from lightly. That's not something another franchise can replicate simply by offering more money or a better supporting cast. The intangibles of being a Laker matter enormously, and I believe Doncic understands and values that in ways that will keep him committed to this franchise long term. The front office also deserves credit for how they've built around him this season. The role players have been solid, the coaching has been excellent, and the organizational infrastructure supports winning basketball. Yes, there are areas that need improvement, moves that must be made to elevate this roster from very good to championship caliber, but the foundation is sound and the trajectory is pointing upward. If the Lakers continue making smart decisions, if they show Doncic that they're as committed to winning as he is, if they surround him with the pieces necessary to compete for titles, then keeping him becomes much more feasible than losing him. We also have to consider what Doncic himself has said and done since arriving in Los Angeles. Everything about his demeanor, his commitment to the team, his integration into the Lakers culture suggests someone who's bought in for the long haul. He's not going through the motions. He's not playing out a contract with one eye on the exit. He's fully invested in making this work and bringing championship number 18 to Lakers Nation. That genuine commitment is worth more than any contract clause or trade speculation, and it gives me confidence that the noise we're hearing from around the league won't ultimately matter. The key for the Lakers moving forward is continuing to demonstrate that commitment in tangible ways. That means being aggressive at the trade deadline if opportunities arise to upgrade the roster. That means not being complacent about the supporting cast and constantly looking for ways to improve the talent around Doncic. That means showing him that the organization values winning as much as he does and will do whatever it takes to put championship banners in the rafters. Actions speak louder than words in the NBA, and the Lakers need to back up their commitment to Doncic with moves that show they're all in on building around him. I'm also encouraged by how the rest of the roster has stepped up this season. When your best player is performing at MVP levels, it creates opportunities for everyone else, and we've seen role players embrace their responsibilities and contribute in meaningful ways. That collective success breeds loyalty and commitment, making it less likely that anyone wants to break up something that's working well. The chemistry in the locker room, the camaraderie among teammates, the shared belief in what we're building together, these are the elements that keep teams together through the inevitable challenges and speculation that come with NBA success. Looking at the bigger picture, this season represents a golden opportunity for the Lakers to prove that they remain the destination for superstars who want to win championships. If we can deliver a title with Doncic leading the way, if we can show that coming to Los Angeles still means competing for banners at the highest level, then all the speculation about him leaving becomes moot. Winners want to stay where they're winning, champions want to continue adding to their legacy, and successfully building around Doncic this year sets the stage for sustained excellence that would make leaving inconceivable. The MVP race that Doncic currently sits third in should also be a point of pride and motivation for everyone involved with the Lakers. Having your best player in that conversation means you're doing something right, means the basketball world recognizes the excellence happening in Los Angeles, means we're positioned to compete with anyone when the playoffs arrive. That recognition matters to star players, and maintaining that level of individual and team success gives Doncic every reason to stay committed to the Lakers long term. So here's my honest assessment as we process all of this information and try to understand what the future holds. Yes, there will be speculation about Doncic potentially leaving Los Angeles. Yes, other teams will monitor his situation and dream about acquiring him if any opportunity presents itself. Yes, the Lakers cannot take his presence for granted and must continue earning his commitment every single day. But I genuinely believe that if the organization stays focused, continues making smart decisions, surrounds him with championship-caliber talent, and delivers on the promise of competing for titles, then Luka Doncic will remain a Laker for years to come, potentially retiring here and cementing his legacy as one of the greatest players to ever wear purple and gold. Now I need to hear from all of you because this affects every member of Lakers Nation. How concerned are you about the possibility of Doncic leaving Los Angeles? Do you think the front office is doing enough to build a championship roster around him? What moves would you make at the trade deadline to ensure we maximize this season and keep our superstar happy? Are you confident that the Lakers can deliver a championship this year, or do you worry that we're wasting this historic season from Doncic? Drop all your thoughts in the comments right now because I want to know where Lakers Nation stands on these critical questions. If you're not already subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report, hit that subscribe button immediately and turn on notifications so you never miss any breaking news about our franchise. We're covering every development, every trade possibility, every strategic decision that impacts the Lakers, and your subscription helps us continue delivering this level of in-depth analysis. Share this video with every Lakers fan you know. Let's get this conversation going across our entire community, and let's show our support for keeping Luka Doncic in purple and gold for years to come. Like this video if you found the analysis valuable, and let's continue building this community together. This is Lakers News Fan Report, and I'll be here every single day bringing you the truth about our Los Angeles Lakers. The Luka Doncic situation is something we'll be monitoring closely, and I promise to keep you updated on every development as this story continues to evolve. Stay engaged, stay passionate, and most importantly, stay Lakers faithful. We're in this together, Lakers Nation.